Here. How are you doing, guys, tonight? Good to be with you. And I'm here with Bobblehead David. And I had to give a little interview with Bobblehead David. We're in Amherst, Massachusetts. That's at the Eastern Apicultural Society of North America. Bobblehead David is excited to be here today. Woo! If you've been watching, I think our Facebook page, we've had Bobblehead David and hanging out in different places around Amherst. It's been a lot of fun here. So tonight we got a great program planned. We're going to actually be interviewing some different people that are beekeepers that are here at the conference tonight. So feel free to ask them any questions along the way. And it's going to be a fun night. And I have a special guest starting off that's actually manipulating Bobblehead David. My good friend, Dr. John Zavishlog. Hey, John, welcome.
Hey, David, good to see you again.
Good to see you. So, man, we have a lot to celebrate tonight.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. We actually do.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
We're actually celebrating our anniversary.
You could put it that way.
And John and I met at EAS.
That's right.
15 years ago.
That's right. We were fumbling around trying to figure out how to work a microscope, I think.
We were, yeah. Looking at Nosema ceranae, or was it Nosema apis?
I don't remember which Nosema it was.
Yeah.
Nick Calderon. Dr. Nick Calderon was trying to teach us how to count spores.
So it's been a good 15 years, John.
14.
15.
It was 2009.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Did I say 15 or 14?
I don't know.
15 years, isn't it? Oh, we're celebrating another.
The only anniversary?
No, another anniversary. The anniversary of Sherry and me. Sherry and I have been married a year. Hi, Sherry.
Hello.
Before all of you hate me for not being at home on my anniversary. Sherry and I always celebrate a lot before the anniversary and after the anniversary. So
nice save.
I try, but for like
priorities, man. Priorities.
For 15 years, I've never been home for my anniversary. Oh,
but you have brought Sherry to EAS once or twice.
Just once.
Just once. When I got certified.
That's right.
Yeah. 13 years ago I went. Yeah.
So happy anniversary, Sherry.
Oh, you always spend your anniversary with John and not me.
Isn't that awful? But it's worth it. You have some thoughts how thankful you are that John and I became friends. Remember that? What you always say? Tell him, John.
Oh, I remember when I first met Sherry, she said, "I am so glad you and David became friends because now he has somebody else to talk to about."
Yes, right. That's right. I do remember that now.
I'm so tired of David talking about bees. Now he can talk to John about bees.
Yep.
Yeah. So now I get exhausted talking bees with John. And so I come home and Sherry says, I have some bee stuff that's cool. I was like, no, I don't want to talk bees.
Nah, we don't do that on our spare time.
I was at y'all's house a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
All you did was talk about bees.
John was at our house a few weeks ago. We talked about bees. So Sherry, thanks for holding down the fort down there in Illinois.
Yeah.
Hot old Illinois. We're up here freezing. I got my coat on in Amherst.
No, it's
cold. Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's cold. And John's from Arkansas, and it's like 101 degree today or something.
Yeah. My wife was sitting in front of the refrigerator, had her feet propped up in the vegetable crisper, trying to cool.
Yeah.
In the ice cube tray.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we have some guests coming in a little bit, and we're going to be just having a good time. So stay tuned all the way through. We got a lot of things planned this evening. We're actually at Amherst University.
University of Massachusetts.
University of Massachusetts in Amherst. There you go. Thank you. That's why I keep John around. He clarifies everything I say wrong. And then over there's a banquet going on and an auction. So and it's just beekeepers from around the world in there. Oh. And so we are over here, but we have some people coming out of there and spend some time with us in the chair. It's kind of like late night television.
Yeah. Ed McMahon will move over when you get a real guest.
Yeah.
And my job is just to go, and laugh at you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So you know what? Now that John is here, I want to tell you guys something funny that happened. We went by the vendor's booth. John and I are the worst two people to walk through the vendor area because everybody wants us to see their product, hoping that it'd be on it'd be on the video, be on my YouTube channel.
And we never buy anything.
And we never buy anything,
Yeah.
but they want to give us stuff. But anyway, we are, how shall I put this nicely, pretty critical of what we find in the vendor area.
And sarcastic.
Very
Which
sarcastic.
doesn't help. It
And
doesn't stop them from trying.
people see us coming and they try,
Vendors.
they try. But I saw some cool stuff today in the vendor area. But one of the vendor areas was the Formic Pro people. And it was really cool. They had a spinning wheel. You would
right.
spin the wheel. It would land on a color. They would take the color and read the question on the back to try to stump the master beekeeper.
Yep.
Oh. Did they?
stump us?
No, we answered every one
We went.
in record time.
We answered it and then went further deeper into the subject.
That's right.
Oh no, they're probably glad to get rid of you.
We're glad to get rid of
Well,
it.
that one lady was because she was holding the camera
There-
up and
yeah.
her arm was getting tired.
You'll probably see this on some of their media platform because they were actually videotaping us. So we don't know where that's going to show up, but we had fun doing that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was kind of a little tough time of questioning, but wasn't too bad. Yeah, it was fun. But we saw some other products that John and I went to. I won't go into details. We went to one booth of a big beekeeping company. They had this little thing that supposed to do
The
this.
device
A device that was supposed to
with
do
promises.
had a lot of promises to it, right? And immediately John started hammering questions like, what about this? John is actually a PhD entomologist, in case you're wondering that.
I
So-
wasn't wondering.
Yeah. So he was, asking these polite questions. Finally, the guy said, yeah, I'm not saying that it works.
I'm just saying we sell them.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were like, oh, okay.
We won't tell anybody who it was or what it was.
John
That's
John
funny.
wants me to make a video. He said, you should buy that in videotape and
Right.
see if do worthless or worth it. Is this worth it or worthless? So I might do that.
Yeah, look for that in the future.
Yeah, that's right.
You
Yeah.
should. People like that.
Yeah, that's good. So while John's here, before our other guests arrive, it might be a good time for any of you that are watching right now. Thanks for watching. To try to stump the master beekeeper with a beekeeping
good
question.
question.
If you can come up with a question, I'm sure you will get an answer from us.
Mhm.
But you,
If we don't know, we'll
if
make
we-
up
yeah,
something that
that's-
sounds
yeah.
plausible enough that you'll
yeah.
think maybe we could be right.
we have a great way of doing that. So does anybody have a question? And if you get a question you want to ask me and John, go ahead and fire away. I see one. You see that question? Go ahead and give us that question. I'll take that question. Sherry, do you see it?
One. No, which one?
For Marianne.
All right.
All right, Marianne Livingston. Hi, Marianne. She's a B Team 6 member, by the way.
Oh,
What do you think about about CO2 instead of powdered sugar or alcohol? And many of you don't know this, but a long time ago, John and I actually made a video on my channel where we evaluated the very first CO2 Mite Control device that came out that's really not any different than the current one, right? Remember that video we
How
made?
long ago was that?
the question was about, do we prefer to drink or eat candy? Oh, no. Yeah, we did. We did
CO2.
evaluate that.
Yeah, we did.
Mhm.
Me, you, and Steve Rapasky.
Rapasky,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. We tested all three. Do you
Yeah.
remember what we found?
Yeah, it was useless.
I would say it was totally useless, but you had to do a lot of math. You had to at least double the number of mites you found, because when CO2 has been used to anesthetize queen bees for instrumental insemination for a long time. It's relatively harmless, but when you get a canister full of worker bees and you gas them, they fall asleep.
They fall asleep.
And ideally, the mites just fall off, and you can count them, and then they wake up and nobody gets hurt. But when you put a bee to sleep, she regurgitates the contents of her crop, so everything gets sticky.
Yeah.
And the mites stick to the bees, and they don't really fall down.
They don't
through
fall.
there.
They'll get stuck on the screen and the side of the
Yeah.
walls, and it's you really have to go after it. And Randy Oliver tested it many years ago as well. He kind of found the same thing, that a lot of and I think the original item that we tested is no longer available, but
No, it was from a French company.
a French company, I think. Yeah, and it was common, but they do have some that are available now. Some people still try to use them, but
I talked to one of the vendors who
You
was
did.
selling them, and I asked if he had one in stock, and he said, no, I didn't even bring any. He didn't like the way they worked.
right.
Yeah. So,
And so he even actually recommended that you use a Ceracell alcohol wash,
That's right.
which I demonstrated last summer in the videos. Yeah. How about another question? Anybody else have a question to stump the master beekeeper?
I don't know if this is going to stump you guys.
Hey, Caroline, how are you doing? Why would a swarm decide to build their new home in a branch instead of an empty brood box or anywhere? Textbook.
That's a good question.
Go, John.
In a branch or just on a branch, like hanging down from it? You know, this says in a branch.
Let's go
so
within a branch, a big
Okay.
hollow branch or something.
Well, bees prefer trees. They like to be up high off the ground.
Native
you know?
habitat.
Yeah. And if the inside of that tree limb was hollow and large enough volume, that's really what bees like.
But why don't they just do the empty brood box?
Well, that brood box could be on the ground, assuming it's up in the tree. Maybe they didn't like the way it was adjusted.
Yeah.
Could have had an odd smell, or it could be that the scout bee just didn't find it.
Didn't
before
find
they
it.
Found
That's
the
right.
other one. Yeah.
Yeah. Luck of the draw when bees try to find a home.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Location. It's everything in
Absolutely.
real estate.
Yeah. How about another question?
Okay.
How many splits can you make from one hive? The first thing I'm going to say,
Oh,
John,
an infinite number over time.
it depends on how big that one hive is. Right?
That's true.
Yeah. If you keep it
Every year you can do more. Yeah.
yeah, but it depends on
But
the
what's a good amount? I mean, sure, you could sit there and do it 10 times, but should you only do it once or twice?
It depends on how long your bee season is and what your nectar flow is.
Yeah, good strong nectar flow. You could do it every few weeks.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Just have to, as long as you can keep rearing queens.
I don't like to do more than 2 splits in Illinois out of my hive. I think that I still want to get honey. I want them to get through the winter. That means I'm pulling out 10 frames. You know?
Yeah, if you want to be productive, then you really gotta keep enough bees in there to keep going.
So we'll safely say 2.
Yeah.
We're kind of like the Car Talk guys.
Yeah.
On PBS, do they still have Car Talk?
Those guys were from Massachusetts, weren't they?
I think so. They had the accent. Yeah. We should put a little silliness into our answers.
Yeah, you mean for a
All right,
change.
Yeah. This is my brother John. The bees resent being moved. I think mine resented me moving them out further. They just throw in the towel, left town, and I lost 3 hives. Wow.
Uh-oh.
Go, John.
Something happened.
You don't know that they necessarily resent that.
They don't hold a grudge, really.
I don't think so. Within a couple of days, they adjust usually.
Yeah.
And within 2 weeks, you've got a completely different crop of bees going outside. So, they die of old age. They're constantly replaced by new bees. So
could moving them out further cause them to lose orientation of where their original home was, and they just deserted? They went back to their original spot.
But not every bee is going to do that.
Yeah.
At the most, you would lose the foraging bees.
Yeah, that's right. And then they raise new ones.
Yeah.
But then we have precocious bees, and they could be a domino effect because precocious bees do things. That means they're doing it before they're aged, ready to do it. So you have premature foragers, and so they may not be as accurate.
Right. Yeah. They don't have the mental capacity to learn quite as quickly. So it's possible. But this person lost 3 hives at once. So that is suspicious that something could have happened during the move, or they could have gotten into something else in their new location.
Yeah, could be.
There's really not enough information there to make a full diagnosis. But
we're sorry.
I don't think
too bad.
That is too bad.
That is too bad.
But I don't go with the idea of them resenting it.
No, they don't resent things.
No.
They just resent me when they see me coming, I guess.
Okay, so a lot of people want to know what washboarding is.
Oh, John and I know what washboarding is.
Okay, you take this one.
There must have been 3 or 4 people who've asked, what is washboarding?
It is that season. You're going to start
It
seeing
is. They're just out there all the time.
Yeah, in the old days, so washboarding is when you take a wet, dirty cloth and you lay it on a kind of a washboard and you put soap on there and you just rub it back.
Scrub it and scrub it and scrub it. Mm-hmm.
And it's clean. So what's the next question? Washboarding with bees.
That's how you clean your bee suit.
Oh, you're telling us what washboarding is.
What
a bees washboard.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to speculate, and John can join me, but it's studies show that it's kind of the younger bees, and also that it's usually in a time when it's hot and humid, and they're out front on the front of the hive, and it's kind of vibrating back and forth, scrubbing with their proboscis or their front legs.
Their mandibles are usually involved.
Yes, mandibles.
Legs. Yeah. It's usually after the nectar flow has finished.
Yeah.
So I think it's a matter of an abundance of bees and nothing to do.
Nothing to
It's
do.
like the old time sailing ships. They would have the sailors out there swabbing the deck to keep them out of trouble.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know?
That's what I do with my kids. I send them outside and make them
Make them do chores.
sweep the porch. That's right.
Yard.
Chores.
Quit sitting around in here. You're
Get out of here. It's too hot in the house.
Let's see if Bobblehead David agrees that it's just bees that need to go do something else.
That's right.
Oh, he
Too hot
agreed.
and too many people inside.
Yeah, that's right. So no really definitive thing that they're doing or gathering with their mouth.
Nobody's
parts.
really sure, but we think they might be cleaning off pheromones and other things, just
tidying
kind
it
of
up.
tidying up.
Yeah.
Instead of spring cleaning, they wait until there's nothing to do in the summertime.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. What's another question?
That's a good
Here
one.
we go.
Why do you think some bees started building under my swarm trap instead of in it? I had old comb in it, and they just wouldn't go in there. They built it on the bottom. Good question.
Yeah.
Here's
sometimes old
silly
comb
people.
odors and things
Yeah.
they don't like.
Yeah. Here's what I think. Ready?
Okay.
I've watched swarming a lot. So bees will land, and it's this bees will land anywhere, right?
Right.
Other bees are looking to see where those bees landed. And once those bees land, they just kind of pile on top of each other.
That's right.
So I think they just accumulated there. So two parts to a swarm, John. The first one is when they just swarm and land somewhere. The second one is when
The bivouac.
The bivouac is what it's called. The second one is when they find a place to go to and they make that their home. This sounds like the bivouac, a temporary place before they find their next home. It just happened to be on something that
would have made a perfect
home.
And if the weather is cold and wet and those scouts can't fly, you've got that cluster that's just hanging there for several days.
Yeah.
And if a swarm can't find a place to go after a few days, they'll start building a little tiny honeycomb there.
They do build, they'll build
and if
comb,
the queen lays one egg,
they're in.
They're in,
Yeah.
and they'll just stay there.
Oh, that's a good answer.
Yeah,
The two of us really nailed that one.
Between the two of us, we've got a brain.
Oh, man.
You two make the perfect couple.
Happy anniversary, David.
My gosh, happy anniversary, John and Sherry.
Oh, yeah, you too, Sherry.
Hey, Steve, how are you? Hi, y'all from San Antonio. That's probably Texas, don't you think?
That would be the San Antonio I'm familiar
Could
with.
be.
You live near Texas, Arkansas. You ever gone to San Antonio?
I have been to San Antonio. Yeah,
Isn't that a song?
nice river walk down there? That's where the Alamo is, I believe, if I remember.
How long can I keep a new queen in a shipping container?
One of those big metal shipping containers that comes up from overseas.
There you
in the
go.
Back of a semi truck.
Not very long in that container.
Not in this weather.
No.
No.
But you can put them in a queen container and
queen cage,
and here's the deal. Keep it at a comfortable temperature for you.
And humidity.
Good humidity. And if it has attendants in it, the attendants may die because sometimes they die, they age out, or there's something wrong with the attendants, but your queen will live on. She will eat the queen candy. But I always recommend, if you got to keep her in there, give her a little drop of water, maybe a dab of honey. Don't get her sticky, but she'll live forever in there, really.
She could.
If you feed her. But I would
bank them too.
You can bank them above a queen excluder in a honey super. But the rule of thumb is get her out as quick as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have to keep her in there, because something happened, you could go a week.
Yeah.
Probably be okay.
Probably. Maybe a little longer, but yeah, as soon as possible.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Jessica Bennett.
Ooh.
Hi from Kansas City, Missouri. Is that what that means? Or is it a radio station? Welcome to KCMO. KCMO. It's John and David at KCMO. First year beekeeper. Thoughts on pulling honey from deeps, because I think my hive is honey bound this time of the year. Should we freeze to give back to them later in the winter, or spin it and keep it for us?
Ooh, first year? How much honey do they have stored up? I'd want to know that. And let's see, Missouri, Kansas City. Let's see. What do you think? 50, 55 pounds of honey to get through the winter?
Yeah, it's pretty much about where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah.
60 65 pounds of honey. Yeah. Unless you use my winter be kind, which went on sale.
That's right. or
Then you can
today.
feed 'em. Yeah.
Right. So, as a first-year beekeeper, you want some honey, but you want to make sure that your bees get through the winter. So I would say you could take a little, use your best judgment.
Right.
And you could have a taste. You could have a jar. But I would allow the bees to keep a fair amount.
They do need to raise brood for winter, ahead of time, though.
Yeah.
Need to have a lot of warm bodies in there.
That's right. Mm-hmm. So don't take too much.
Yeah, don't take too much.
Yeah.
I would say don't worry about I may be different than John, but don't worry about trying to freeze that and feed it back.
No.
I think I would spin it out and use it for yourself, and then put it back. See if they'll lay eggs in it. Just see if they'll expand a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll take one more, and then we're going to bring some guests in.
Oh, good.
My green drone comb from Junebug. My green drone comb has been in my hive for 8 days, but has only had minimal comb. Should I leave it in the hive longer than 18 days?
So it's a brand new drone comb?
I
And they're
think
not
it's-
drawing the comb out? Is that
A minimal comb looks like, yeah.
okay? Well, you want to leave it in until they've capped a good portion of those cells.
That's right.
So, and depending on the point in the nectar flow right now, they may or may not be inclined to draw a lot of comb out.
Yeah.
It could be the position. You drop it in the middle of a brood nest, then they're going to draw it out quicker than if
Yeah.
it's way over on the side.
Right.
So
I would say bear with it a little bit longer.
Mhm.
Yeah, because but you need to keep checking it, because once they're capped over, or half of it's capped over, you need to start thinking about pulling it out.
yeah, otherwise it becomes a mite factory.
By the way, for those of you who are brand new and you've never heard of a green drone comb, that's used to trap mites, because mites are attracted to drone brood and young drones. And so once it's capped over, they're in there. You can freeze it. You kill the mites. Of course, you kill the drones. And then after a couple of days of freezing, you can scrape it off or put it back in the hive. They clean the dead drones out and the dead mites. It's just a kind of a mechanical trap,
Mhm.
an IPM way of getting rid of
Yeah.
mites without
Not
chemicals.
many chemicals.
Yeah. That's
Mhm.
cool.
Mhm.
Jeff Bird. Jeff Bird. Get Jeff over here. Yeah. Come on over, Jeff. Get ready, Lisa. You're on the Johnny Carson. Is that his name? No, Ed
It was.
McMahon. Yeah, it's Johnny Carson one.
Uh,
This is Ed McMahon.
Ed's going to step out.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
Got
I'm
time
gonna.
for one more question, maybe.
Yeah, one more
Wait.
question. We'll take one more. Yeah.
Oh.
Stand by, Larry. Come on
So
up.
let me.
See if you can go with a quick question. We'll have a quick answer here.
Okay, here's a really.
Beekeeper.
There we go.
If you freeze your super frames, what would the steps be to get it ready to process? Number one, number of days out of the freezer, etc.
Okay, are they full of honey?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
So they.
It's a-
Where I
until they
live,
fall out. Until
Yeah.
they fall out, whatever that is.
Yeah, this is a simple answer. Just let them thaw out.
Yeah.
Just let them thaw out. It may take
There's
all
nothing
day.
else.
Depends on where you're freezing them out.
Mhm.
Freeze them out in a room that doesn't have any holes in it where bees are going to find it. So you got to have a warm room where they come in there or don't come in there, and just let those frames kind of thaw out. Use your finger, poke it. The warmer it is,
Yeah, the easier it's going to be.
The easier
so
it's
it might
gonna
be
be.
thawed. It might
yeah,
flow, but if
might
it's
be
still
cold.
cold,
Right.
then it's going to flow a lot
Yeah.
slower.
Try to get that temperature of the honey in that comb up to at least 80, 85 before you start trying to spin it out.
Yeah.
All right, John, I'm going to swap chairs with
Okay.
you.
No,
And-
I'm gonna step out this way,
okay.
and you move in.
Come on
Right.
in. Come on
Don't
in.
lose that.
Jeff Bird. Yeah. Hello, Jeff. How are you doing today?
It's going to be a tough act to follow
Yeah, I know.
with following John Z. So
Yeah, yeah. Now, if you don't know Jeff Bird, he's been associated with EAS for quite some time, Eastern Apicultural Society. That's where we are tonight in Amherst, Massachusetts, at University of Massachusetts.
UMass Amherst,
Yeah, yeah. And you've actually been the president of EAS before. I remember that.
2016 when we hosted New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, you in New Jersey. Yep, very good. So I understand you keep telling people that you watch my YouTube videos.
As many times as I can, usually at least a couple times a week.
That's amazing.
Well, it's always good to see keep in touch, see what's happening in the beekeeping world, and,
Yeah.
and see how you keep bees out in the beautiful state of Illinois.
Yeah. You keep telling me you love me, you follow all my videos, but I think you're just saying that.
No, there's several that I follow.
What do you think of the conference this year?
I really enjoy it. The facilities are great. UMass Amherst is a wonderful school. It's a little tough for us old people walking 15 minutes from the dorm to get to the classes, but we get a chance to talk to people,
Yeah.
Other fellow beekeepers. But I will say this: the food is outstanding.
Oh yeah, I've gained 10 pounds.
Yes,
Awful.
yes.
10 pounds.
And just seeing everybody. I mean, I spent some classes, a couple of classes with Dewey Karen today,
Dewey Karen, yeah, we love him.
and David. No, you're David. The other David from David Peck.
David Peck, yeah.
Had a couple of his.
Dr. David Peck.
Dr.
Yeah.
David Peck with talked about oxalic acid and so forth.
Yeah.
The keynote speaker yesterday, Tammy Horn Potter, was
Tammy Horn,
outstanding.
yeah.
It's just sometimes you just kind of like stop and start talking to somebody, and next thing you know, you're catching up for what happened over the past 12 months.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it's like 3 hours later.
That's true. Yeah. The neat thing about EAS, we make a lot of friends. Like you and I would have never met, but we became friends. But we only see each other like once a year. That's what makes us great friends.
Very true.
You don't bug me because I only see you for a few minutes. You don't get on my nerves. I don't have to. There's no drama in our relationship.
No, not that I'm aware of. But does everybody know that David is in charge of doing the one section of the Master Beekeeper exams, and he does a phenomenal job. That's the field exam.
Thank you.
Which takes a lot of time.
It does.
A lot of time, not only to organize the actual test, but to organize all of the other master beekeepers who proctor the exam. So
That's right. Yeah.
People I don't think don't appreciate that very much, but I know I certainly do, and thank you for doing that.
Thank you. You're welcome. And to herd 25 master beekeepers to proctor that exam.
Yes,
is the feat in and of itself.
very much so. Yes.
Oh, Larry, this is my wife Sherry.
You've been on a couple. You've been
Yeah,
on a
she's
couple
been on a
of
few times,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And today's our
We're
anniversary.
there.
Oh, happy anniversary!
And I'm
Thank
here.
you.
We're taking we're gonna have a few drinks tonight and celebrate your anniversary.
There you go. There you go.
Do you live in New Jersey?
Almost all the time. Yes.
Okay. And what do you do with bees? How many hives you have and all that?
I came through the winter with 28, and then with all the swarming and all the crazy weather, I was up to 54.
Gosh, that's
And
busy.
then I gave about almost 20 of them away.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
There you go.
You're a wise man. A wise man.
I just ran out of equipment. That was the biggest challenge. Just keeping track of them, keeping it. Then it didn't rain for like 4 weeks, and then it rained every day for 2 weeks, and you just couldn't get out in the field. It was a real mess.
Yeah.
But
wow.
I finished extracting on Saturday, and then we came up here. So when I go back, I'm gonna pull off my wet supers. Hopefully the dry supers by Sunday.
Yep.
And then put on my what am I doing this year? I'm doing Formic Pro this year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You are a certified master beekeeper. What year did you get certified as an EAS master beekeeper?
I was in the class of 15 up at Guelph,
Yeah.
Ontario.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, good. All right, Jeff. Good to see you. We're going to kick you out of the chair and bring
Okay.
in Lisa.
Well, okay.
Good
Very
to see you,
good.
buddy.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
thanks for being here.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, Larry's
Have a great week.
guy. What do
Bye.
you do as a day job, by the way?
Me?
You work or you just do?
Oh,
bees?
I have a very popular job. I'm the tax assessor in Ewing Township, New Jersey.
Ooh, yikes!
Yes.
People
So
scared of you?
no, they love me.
Yikes!
My email is overflowing. My voicemail is overflowing. Everybody wants to talk to me.
Wow, tax man.
For
Very
2 more months.
popular.
2 more months, and I'm retiring.
I think the Beatles had a song about the tax man.
They certainly did.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Bye, buddy.
Yeah, see you, Jeff. Now we're gonna bring in Lisa.
Lisa
Welcome,
came
Lisa.
to the rescue this year.
Hello, David Burns. Hi,
Yeah.
it's such an honor to be with you.
Well, thank you. It's not really that big of a deal.
No big deal.
Well,
and
thank you.
and Sherry, how wonderful.
Yeah. So I can't pronounce your last name.
Getsy.
Getsy?
It's Italian. Actually, the
Yes.
Americanized version is Gezzy.
Okay, I just call you Lisa.
Okay.
There's no Lisa here that I know of. So Lisa and I have worked together along with John and other committee members to formulate the field tests. And so Lisa has done an outstanding job with the administration of getting all the master beekeepers that work in the field to test candidates. You did outstanding. That worked out so well.
Well,
Pretty much
thank
did
you.
all the work.
She did all the work. Yeah.
Wow.
You did really good.
No, I didn't, but thank you. It was great working together as a team. The committee was fabulous. We met many times over the last 6 months just to make sure we were ready. And we
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that everyone had an excellent exam experience as well as an examination experience. And I think we really hit the cover off the ball. Don't
Yeah.
want to toot a horn too much, but I think everybody was really happy. And we had the best weather.
Oh, we had perfect weather for a
Was
field.
it great? It was great.
It was
Yeah,
just beautiful,
worked out.
nice
It
and
was.
cool. I didn't have any ticks on me. That was kind
And I
of,
had no ticks.
yeah, we were worried because
We
other
were-
people told us there might be ticks.
Yes.
But no ticks. So Lisa, tell us, where do you live?
I live on the eastern shore of Maryland.
Hmm.
It's a nice little rural area, town of 36,000. Oh, I shouldn't say town, county of 36,000.
Okay.
And we have several villages in our town, and we live a lot of waterfront in our town, so it's quite lovely.
Let's see, what do you do for a living? Do you just do bees? Do you have another job?
Well, I actually retired in
Oh,
2009. I used to launch satellites and create satellite systems. I was actually on the initial XM radio team.
Oh, wow.
So we found the financing, we negotiated the satellite contracts, the launch services contracts. I'm a businesswoman. I got my master's in business and was part of that team to launch XM radio.
So you're like a rocket scientist.
No, I'm a businesswoman. I am not a rocket scientist.
Okay. You're not a physicist. You just
No,
kind of like do
no
the business
physicist.
side of
Knows
it.
how to put the pieces of the puzzle together.
Every time I talk to you, you're always out working 100 hives, 1,000 hives, and moving semis across the country. I got all these supers. And you're a busy woman with bees.
I'm a busy woman with bees, but I'm not working with those numbers.
Okay. All right.
But I do love my bees. I have a lot of bees for sure.
And
for
you're
sure.
a certified master beekeeper. What year?
Yes, I am. Just in the last couple of years, I
Oh.
finalized my teaching in Kentucky and passed the exam, and very, very pleased with it, and happy to be a part of this very important team of people that really cares. They're very concerned about making sure that everybody has a really good, positive experience.
Yeah.
That they are, the expectation level is quite high. You know,
It is,
everyone wants people to be the best at what they can be. And that requires a lot of studying, and that's knowing width as well as depth, because there's a heck of a lot to know about beekeeping.
That's amazing. And when you were being certified, was that Kentucky?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Did I test you in any fields or anything?
No, because
Okay.
I was in the testing. I finished with the written exam in Kentucky, and I had passed the others before
Okay.
that.
Very good. That's excellent. Well, Lisa, thanks for stopping by.
Well, thank you for having
Pleasure
me.
working with you all year.
Been a pleasure working with you too.
Got you for another year.
Okay, well, that's a good.
Ooh.
That's actually, and thank you very much,
All right.
David.
Good.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Good. Good.
Now we're going to go all the way to the state of Missouri.
Missouri. Who is that? Who is from Missouri?
We have a very interesting person, another certified master beekeeper, and we have Kathy Misko. Did I pronounce that right?
Kathy. Hi.
And Kathy's on, and I asked her to be on, and she says, I can't be on. I talk too much.
Oh.
She probably won't say anything.
I don't know. I don't know anybody but David who ever talks to us.
I talk a lot. So Kathy will be in competition on here talking to each
Yeah,
other.
we'll see.
I can
We'll see
handle
who
it.
wins.
You're a pleasure to work with. You've got a really good personality and fun to work with. And
Thank you.
last year, I think I was flying. Where were we last year? I forgot.
We were on a puddle jumper going to Ithaca.
Ithaca, New York. That's right. And I saw you sitting up in a couple of rows ahead of me on the plane. I didn't know you, but I saw you looking over your notes, and I kind of looked over your shoulder, and I saw B words. I was like, oh my gosh, I
Absolutely.
thought this was a candidate flying to be certified. And it was. It was so funny.
Oh, that's
Right. I
funny.
had my note cards.
You did.
My son said, use note cards, and I was trying to memorize all of the Latin names,
Yeah, I
and
know.
chemical names,
I
and
know. It's terrible, isn't it? What
you
have to
don't.
go
I
through.
mean, we have books for that.
But you never know what question you're going to get slammed with. So you got to
That's
know
right.
almost everything
That's
in
right.
case somebody asks you a question. So it's really challenging.
Yeah.
And that was great. You graduated, and now you're part of the testing team.
Mhm,
You helped us
mhm.
in the field testing candidates.
I
So
did.
that was great.
Oh,
So
neat.
tell us a little bit about yourself. Where do you live in Missouri?
I live about an hour east of Kansas City.
Oh, we had somebody on Kansas City earlier
Did
asking,
you?
asking a question.
Oh,
Oh, yes, an hour east. I used to be president of the Kansas City Bee Club.
Oh,
We-
leave a comment below if you know Kathy, former president of Kansas City, Missouri Beekeepers Club.
yeah, Midwestern Beekeepers. We had
Wow.
about 500 members.
Whoa,
then.
5.
wow. Boy, that's a lot.
That's like a nice club. Yeah.
Now I'm in Johnson County, Missouri.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matter of fact, one of our new beekeepers came to me. Well, he was taking a beekeeping workshop, and he said, "I've been studying for a year. I'm ready for bees." And I said, "Oh," and he says, "Yeah, with David Burns."
Oh, I'm humble.
Yes, Chad
Yeah.
Shippey's his name.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chad.
Hey, Chad. Hope you're watching tonight.
That's
Like, oh my
right.
gosh, he said my name.
Great man. He's a
Well,
great man.
So, are you retired? Do you work? What do you do for a
I'm
livelihood?
I'm a mom of 8. I homeschooled kids for 27 years.
Wow.
And now I have grandchildren, expecting 2 more. Let's see, that makes
Excellent.
it 12.
Yeah.
12.
And all of that, you find time to play with bees.
Well, it's when I was homeschooling, I didn't do as much bee work. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
after they started
Okay.
going to high school.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
now I have about 38 colonies.
38 hives.
and
Yeah.
38 hives, and I'm chemical free. I've
Oh,
worked
wow.
very hard on that. Started
Well,
in
stop you-
2010.
Gonna have to stop you right there because some people are gonna say, "What do you do if you're not using chemicals to keep mites down?"
What do I do? Lots of IPM, but genetics is number one.
Okay.
Number one, genetics.
Are you getting bees from like Corey Stevens over there?
I am
Okay.
getting
Yeah.
virgins from Corey
He
Stevens.
does a good job.
About
Yeah.
2013, I started getting virgins from Corey Stevens,
Yeah.
and try to keep.
Yeah.
I know Corey
isn't
too.
Co-
I'm just.
Corey's a master beekeeper. EAS
Yes,
master
he
beekeeper.
is.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I just did an interview with him, and it
Oh,
was
yeah.
so fun to do. He's an incredible beekeeper
Yeah,
in
he is.
person.
Yeah.
So, and Missouri mutts. I propagate the
Yeah, Missouri
survivor
mutts.
bees that
Very good.
maintain low mite counts
Yeah.
and disease free.
And if you're wondering why I'm having more women on my live stream
I
tonight,
thought they'd wonder.
because there are so many women getting into beekeeping. More women are getting into beekeeping than men right now.
Well,
About 60% of new beginners are women.
I
That really
met,
shifted. That
yes,
shifted. Yeah.
absolutely. Well,
That's
Bees are
good.
Mostly female.
What's that?
The bees are mostly female.
Bees are
The
mostly
bee- there you
female.
go, there you go.
There's a connection.
there's a woman here that I met that's part of Women in Beekeeping
Oh.
Facebook page. 44,000 women.
Whoa.
And I got to meet her here in
That's so cool.
Mary Fitzgerald.
Oh, I've heard that name. Yeah.
So she's here.
That's really exciting because I think sometimes it's people look at beekeeping as a man's thing. It's outdoors, like hunting and all that. But women are just so good with bees because they just have a different perspective, the brood. And it's just wonderful to see so many women getting into beekeeping.
Nurturing.
Nurturing. It's a nurturing spirit.
instinct.
Yeah.
Because really, you need to be a good servant
Yeah.
to the bees.
Yeah.
Be educated so you can take good care of them.
Oh,
and-
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's great, Kathy. I don't think you're a big talker. Who's been saying that about you? You said you were a chatter or something. Or tell me
Chatty
your-
Cathy, yeah.
Chatty Cathy?
Mom,
Gosh.
Chatty Cathy. I mean, she was around when Mom named me, and I think she cursed me. And no, I don't say I'm chatty. Really, I'm friendly.
Oh,
I'm
yeah. You're a
friendly.
friendly person.
Yeah, I'm friendly.
Oh.
It's not always about bees when we do things
No,
like
it's
this.
not. We don't even
and
talk about bees when we get here.
No,
We're sick of that.
It's about people.
Yeah.
It's-
Relationships.
It's not always about bees.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Renewing old friendships and relationships, really good. Yeah. All right, Kathy. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, good to see you.
Good
Thank
to see you too. Thank you so
We'll
much.
see you.
Being on the program
And
tonight from Live
Thank
Stream.
you.
That was my wife, Sherry, by the way.
You didn't introduce me.
I
I
know.
was starting to say
I'm so
something. I was
sorry.
gonna say,
That's my wife,
"Oh, there
Sherry.
she is, yes.
She's still there. That's my wife, Sherry.
I saw her.
Hi, Sherry.
Yeah.
Hi, who's this?
Susan Menards?
Susan Menard. Yeah.
Like the store. You own Menards.
No, I married into the Menards, but he.
Sit up taller. You look shorter than me. I'm dominating.
All the women in David's life are shorter than him.
I just randomly were picking people out of the big banquet over there, and
You're just grabbing them as they go by.
like, well, what would I have to do? So I don't know, just be on here. So have you been to EAS before, Susan?
This is my first time.
First time. What do you think of EAS?
It's great. It's great.
What do you like about it?
Well, it's great to be around so many other beekeepers.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time with my bees, not a lot of time with other people. So it's
Oh, really?
great to-
Okay. Yeah. So now you're just in front of like 123,000 people, but
Oh, great.
don't feel intimidated or anything. So what state do you live in?
I'm in New Hampshire.
Do you know Jeff Bird? You're in New Jersey.
No, I don't.
I'm out here in the East. I don't know states very well. That's great. So what do you do with bees? How many bees do you have? What do you do?
I'm running about 50 production hives and
50?
about
Like 50?
50
Wow.
and about a dozen nukes.
Get your face
right
in my
now.
camera.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah. And how many production? What do you,
I'll push her over. Let's see.
how many? You got 50?
50 production hives.
Wow.
And about a dozen nukes.
A dozen nukes, yeah. Have you done things like raising queens or anything?
I do. I mostly so far I've let the bees raise the queens.
Okay, yeah.
I
That's fun.
I sell some locally raised nukes and
Oh, good. Yeah, good. Do you have any experience in being a master beekeeper? You
I am not I
don't
learned-
have to be.
No. Nope, I learned a lot from my bees.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
That's
That's
where
good
most
enough.
That's good enough. Absolutely, it's good enough. The only reason I wanted to be a master beekeeper, by the way, was just because I felt like I needed to push myself a little more. I'm a little bit lazy on the intellectual side, so if I don't have something motivating me to learn things, maybe I'm not going to learn things that aren't hobby horses or special interests. So that it forced me to learn different areas. But no,
and I may go for it. But
yeah.
for now I'm just doing my best to keep up with my bees.
Well, I can give you a secret. Look at this. You get a green ribbon when you become a master beekeeper.
Woohoo!
So this is John's. I'm just
I
going
bet
to rip
we
it
can
off.
make those for free.
And you can just wear it and say
Well,
you're a master beekeeper.
No,
That's right.
That wouldn't be right. Hey, wait a minute. No, that's really good that you're. So how long have you been keeping bees?
about 7 years.
Oh wow, 7 years. Yeah.
Seasons, yeah.
So what do you do for a living when you're not working bees?
Well, I actually gave up my work when I moved overseas to be with my husband.
Okay.
And when we moved back about 9 years ago, I took up beekeeping. Well, at 7 years ago,
Yeah.
took up beekeeping and kind of dove in at year 3 and just kind of found my passion. And it's what I've been doing. And I'm sort of semi-retired, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
But
Good.
Yeah.
Final question: what do you do for Mite Control?
I treat my bees.
With
Uh,
various
um,
things? What do you do?
So in summertime, I'll treat late summer. I treat with Formic Pro generally.
I like Formic Pro.
Formic
Yeah.
Pro
Yeah.
and oxalic acid,
Yeah.
vapor for fall knockdown,
Mhm.
and my nukes. I've tried a few different things on the nukes. I
Yeah.
did Apivar, Apiguard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try some Appy Light Bar this year.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And and of course do the fall
Yeah.
oxalic
Yeah.
acid.
Well, you
treatments.
kept
I
bees.
have
You kept bees for 7 years.
7 years, and I have colonies that are descendants of my original hive.
Oh wow.
So
nice.
I have about a 90% overwintering success rate,
Excellent.
and I'm
Yeah.
pretty proud of that.
Absolutely.
But it is a bit of a challenge because
Oh yeah, it can.
every year I'm growing.
What is the most significant thing you've learned in being a beekeeper?
Hmm.
Well, the most important thing that I've learned is that I have to listen to my bees.
Yeah.
And pretty much the moment I open a hive, I know whether they're doing well or something's wrong.
Yeah. And that takes a while to learn that. That's
Wow.
a skill and an art in it. To read bees, to kind of know what,
Yeah.
a new beginner, that's kind of a sharp learning curve to understand what the bees are telling you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I really appreciate you being on the live stream tonight. Yeah, it's
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
This is
Nice to
This
meet
is gonna,
you and
yeah,
be part of
thank
this.
you. This is the live stream, but it's going to be, it's always on YouTube after we publish it, so you can tell your family members to watch you on television. Thanks, Susan. Thanks for coming
Thanks,
in.
David.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
See you later.
Bye.
Hi, Susan.
All right. That was Susan. We're back to John. No other guests are lined up here today. Almost out of time, John. We got 15 minutes left.
Whoa, back again.
Yeah, that was fun. That was kind of fun. Yeah, I like talking to different people. Yeah. Most of them had plenty of wine and beer, so they
That's
were
right,
really
yeah.
loosened up good.
The looks are getting now.
Oh, yeah.
Are they offering us drinks, or are they getting ready to throw those bottles?
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's good. Well, we'll take a few more questions, Sherry.
Okay.
People want to ask us some questions. What do you think about the hot box for winter? That's a John question.
The hot box for winter. Well, winter comes, I'm ready for a hot box, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not
I'm ready for the hot tub.
My winter is, maybe a few weeks long. It doesn't.
Wow.
Not a big deal for me. So you're the overwintering guy.
All right.
In the Great White North.
You know what a hot box is?
Is that something to?
We're guessing, aren't we?
To wrap a hive.
Let's ask the audience. Kathy, what's a hot box for winter? What
In relation to
Do you
bees.
use-
Me, it would be just a great big
pile of bees?
box that I would slip over my hive as insulation.
She doesn't know.
Insulated.
Susan, you know what?
Yeah.
Susan knows what a hot box is.
Of course, yes. It's a box that you put on top of your hive with insulation.
So it is a
and-
box to insulate your hive.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it provides insulation and moisture control.
So it just barely
Okay.
fits over the hive.
It's,
Little-
well, it's usually made out of like a super, a medium
Oh,
box.
out of wood.
Some
Okay.
people put-
Oh.
Some people put in holes with
Okay.
ventilation in it.
Yeah.
Some people just put.
Wow.
I use wool pillows.
Does it fit on top of the hive or around it? On top? Oh, it's like a Warray
Oh, okay.
quilted box.
Yeah, so it's
Oh,
a quilt
okay.
box.
It's a
yeah.
quilt box?
Oh, a quilt box.
Okay.
Wow, we
Keep
should
them
have just said
cozy.
that.
Oh, my
Keep 'em
gosh.
Cozy.
All right. They stumped the master
Right.
beekeepers.
It's a
Yeah.
box full of little tiny quilts they can pull up when they're bedding down for the cluster.
All right. The question is, hey, Susan, do they work for you? Do you use them?
I have used them on some of my
Yeah.
hives, but now that I've gotten so many, I tend to use insulation
Okay.
and usually wintering inner covers.
Okay. Yeah. So don't use a lot of them anymore. You have a different
I have
technique.
some.
So she has some, so-
and I use
Okay.
wood. I pretty much just use wood pillowcase.
Okay.
Wood-
So an answer to that question is you choose what works for you. So try that hot box out one winter.
Try it out.
Yeah, try it out. See if it works.
Don't like it? Try something else.
If it doesn't work, you don't like it, you want to go try something else. That's the neat thing about beekeeping.
Yeah.
Hot
Yeah, it is.
quilted box.
Yeah.
All right. We have another question that's easier. Video.
Do you guys know what a heat gun is?
Oh yeah, I've tried that myself.
All right. Tell us what a heat gun is first.
Well, it looks like a hairdryer, but it gets a lot hotter and it doesn't blow the air nearly as fast. So I don't recommend it on your.
I've been
hair.
using that. That's why I'm thin on top.
That could be, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so a heat gun, it heats up to 400 or 500 degrees. I guess they're all different, but
Wow.
you can gently blow really hot air onto the surface of capped honey.
And it just
And-
melts the wax?
It melts. Well, what it does is the cappings are so thin they just kind of pop open,
Oh, cool.
and it's so thin on the edge and then they kind of solidify on the
Yeah.
edges of the comb.
Wow.
And you can go along and it just kind of pops them all open, and that way you don't have to deal with all the cappings and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of stuff.
Right.
But if you're not careful and you're moving along too slow, then you smell scorched honey.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah,
Too
and
much,
if-
too hot, aren't they?
yeah, and if you're
can
not
smell
careful, you can just put way too much heat on it and kind
Yeah.
of deform the comb.
Shoot,
so
that's too bad.
that's one of those things that I've seen people demonstrate that, and you can do it if you've got good technique.
Well,
but
I
you
have
may
a
to
question.
practice little
Got
bit
a
on
question for you. How does it affect the honey? Is that maybe
that.
making
If
it?
it overheats the
Overheats
honey,
it,
because you've got
yeah.
very hot air.
Yeah.
So if you leave it on that honey, you can definitely smell scorched honey. I tried it a couple times. It did work. I think you could get it to work, but I like the cappings because we use a lot of beeswax to make candles
Yeah.
and other products. So I don't mind the cappings
Yeah.
dealing with those.
All right, Sherry, give us a question about piping. I'm going to have to rely on my other master beekeepers.
There's a question about piping.
Yeah, there is from Carolyn Sneak.
No, yeah. Here we go.
Okay, look at that. What's the difference between piping, quacking, and toothing?
Jeff Bird.
No, tooting.
Tooting.
Oh, it says
It's
Tooting.
tooting.
That's how you
No,
spell it?
that says tooting. I
That
think
says
that might.
tooting.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
they probably mean
But they
tooting.
mean
Tooting.
Tooting.
Okay.
Piping, quacking, and tooting.
Yeah. All right. We all know what piping is, right?
Yeah.
I
Know
can
what
do it
piping
really well.
is.
Ready?
Well, we got Marco, we got Polo.
Yeah, yeah. So usually we think of that sometimes in more of a virgin queen doing the piping. I've heard mated queens do it when they're hungry, but you know, they're piping. I always think that a piping queen is looking for another queen to kill, chase you down and kill you.
Hmm.
But one is quacking.
That's not a term I'm really familiar with.
Oh, I am familiar with it. And
Susan!
I got them mixed up.
I just heard it for the first time. I mean, I hear piping all the time. I don't hear quacking.
Yeah, I don't really hear
I've
quacking.
heard quacking before.
Yeah.
You've got a
One
duck in
is
your hive.
after they've emerged, and the other one's all queens will pipe, but I believe the quacking is when after they emerge. But I would have to look it back up and look at my notes. There's
Okay.
books for that.
Yeah. Wow. Another stump.
There we go.
Is tooting any different? Tooting is different than piping and quacking?
All queens pipe.
Well, what about
Right,
tooting?
but tooting and quacking.
Yeah. I've heard that bees don't fart.
It depends on
that's
what kind
tooting.
of protein powder you're feeding
I
them.
wasn't tooting.
Is that what queen's tooting
So-
means?
Maybe so. Too much soy powder. and
What kind of protein powder you using?
Yeah.
Oh,
Tough one. Okay, piping and quacking are the same, we're told. Same
Okay.
thing. But
Toots, the response is a pipe.
what's that
When
again?
someone toots, the response is a pipe.
Oh, when someone toots, the response to the pipe. Oh my gosh.
I'm watching you guys live.
Oh, he's watching.
See,
it.
where are we at?
So
Yeah.
careful, you're gonna cause some
Feedback loop or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
No, I
That's,
turned the audio down.
Oh,
Get
thank
sucked
you.
in.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's a good question on piping, tooting, quacking. That'd be good for a master beekeeper
Yeah.
test in the future, maybe. Oh, I should have said
Yeah.
that. Hey, Greg Burns, thanks for your $20 donation. Appreciate that, buddy.
All right.
Howdy from Ohio. And there's my daughter-in-law, Leah Burns. Hi, David and Jerry. And this is my granddaughter watching Vera. Hi, Vera.
Vera loves,
Vera.
That's my
Vera
wife.
loves your
Oh,
videos.
Your wife's
My
watching.
wife's name is
Yeah.
Vera.
They named their daughter after your wife, Vera.
That's right.
Gosh.
And Leah, well, that's my sister-in-law up in Illinois.
That's my sister. That's my
Wait a
daughter-in-law.
minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
wait.
wow.
My brother-in-law is married to your daughter-in-law?
Oh, you never
This is
know.
getting complicated.
It could be because can I say we're both from Arkansas?
And then my wife is your granddaughter. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
We're both from Arkansas, actually.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
This is
That
my
explains it. That
That's
explains it.
that explains it. Yeah, we
Yeah.
can say that because we're from Arkansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't want to say
Yeah.
it too much.
Yeah.
It is our
Okay.
anniversary.
Got one more question. We got time for one more question.
Yeah.
One more.
Good night. It's a hard
Oh,
one.
well, we don't have time to
No,
read
it's
all
not.
I got my crew
No,
standing
it's
by.
not. This is an easy one. This is
All
an
right,
easy
I've got
one.
2 hives side by side. I can't read that.
I got it.
My-
One
got
is
my
always
bifocals
well
on.
behaved. The other has assorted behavior issues for
That
months.
sounds like my children.
I was about to say the same.
Yep.
Including intermittent swarm like crazy action in front of the hive. What's going on?
Oh, all colonies are different.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like kids. They're
Yeah.
always going to be different.
Yeah.
So sometimes in front of the hive, the action can be just too many bees in there taking play flights,
Mhm.
scrubbing the deck, getting
New
out of the
babies coming
hive.
out.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
do get a little
Yeah.
more defensive as the season
Yeah.
progresses.
It's true.
It's
One
true.
of them's stronger, one's weaker. You could
Yeah.
have some that are buzzing around thinking, I might rob that place when they're not looking.
I do have one recommendation, EL, and that is graft out of the hive with the well-behaved queen
Mhm.
and kill the queen and the other hive that's kind of a little more defensive and raise a queen from the nice hive.
Mhm.
See if you can get the nice genetics over there. That might be a way to do it.
And then they'll all be cousins.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to kick you out, John. We have another guest showing in at the last minute.
Okay.
A good friend's coming in. You're going to love
Who
the
is it?
beard. You're going to love
is
the
it?
beard. This is Larry. My
Welcome.
Hooray!
good Larry.
Good to see you, sir.
Yeah. You know what, Larry? You are my lifesaver. I can rely on Larry's on my field testing team committee with Lisa and John and Landy. And boy, you have saved my butt. You just keep me going. You're
He
great.
loves Larry and Lisa.
Yeah,
I
Larry.
do what I'm told.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the little worker bee.
Wow, you're just great. You saved my butt so many times yesterday. I had to leave my post, and you were like, "Go, go, go!" You grabbed the micro, you grabbed the walkie-talkie, the clipboard. You were just,
We were all working as a super organism to get the job done.
man, you're awesome. You're a good thinker on your feet. We really love you having. And when did you become a master beekeeper?
2016, and you actually tested me in the field and passed me.
Oh,
You
wow.
don't remember that. I don't know why you passed me.
I was hearted that day.
Caught him on a good day.
Yeah. Where was that at? Kentucky?
That was actually in New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey.
Yes.
Wow, I don't remember testing you. I wish I would.
I didn't have a beard then.
Oh, well, that's it.
That's the whole problem.
That's it.
And you probably had a bee suit on or something like that.
Oh,
So you're here at the EAS conference. How you liking it?
Liking it so far. It was a nice 8-hour trip coming up from Maryland, but worth every hour.
Yeah.
Worth every minute.
Maryland rocks. You guys have like gazillions of beekeepers in the state of Maryland. My gosh.
And EAS is coming down to visit us next year, so we hope we'll see a lot of you
yeah.
out there.
Yeah, if you're first time to get associated with EAS and my love for it, you need to check it out on their website. We're going to be in Maryland in 2024, in Michigan in 2025.
We're covering the whole East Coast sooner
Yeah,
or later.
yeah. Sometimes we make it down south to Kentucky,
Michigan.
Georgia, but yeah. be
I'll go to
great.
Michigan.
So Larry, how many hives you have? What do you do with bees?
I'm just running 10 hives. I'm doing a little bit of grafting and running my own nukes and
yeah, cool.
just keep it on going. I've cut back down in the last couple of years to spending more time teaching.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it does. I've found that true. I used to have a lot of hives, but I make a lot of videos now. I teach a lot, and it's just like I don't want these bees to die on me, so I gotta get a number that works for me, and yeah, that works out well. What do you do as a day job?
I'm actually an auto mechanic.
Oh wow, I didn't know that about you. That's great. Does your beard ever get caught up in some gears or anything?
Now you just jinxed me. As of yet, no.
Oh, okay, great. I like asking what people do for a living just so that my audience can know that people have so many different backgrounds.
It's just an amazing question. I always ask that. And
Yeah.
there's some people so smart, and
Oh,
other
yeah.
people like me, just a common person.
Oh, you're smart. Come on. Yeah, you're smart. Larry made a funny comment when we were actually getting our team ready to go proctor the field exam. About 25 testers, examiners, and we were giving them instructions on their experience, but we were just reminding them. And Larry was trying to say something like, what were you trying to say? I don't remember.
I'm not going to say it wrong on the internet.
Okay. He was trying to say something about, do you remember, Lisa, how you
Something
worded
like
that?
a sexist remark.
Yeah. Yeah, he was trying to say, be careful, don't make a sexist remark or
That's
something.
about it.
But he used the word sexual. Like, don't go out there and be sexual.
And
And
the last
Don't
thing
do that either.
we had
Do
so
that
much,
at home too.
we had so much fun with
Oh,
that.
definitely.
We all have a peach impediment, so I understand.
So where are your people from on this chat?
Oh, they're
right
all
here?
over. We're all over
Nationwide?
the world. All over the world. All over the world.
Amazing.
All over the world.
Kathy had some
Yeah.
friends in Missouri that knew her. So
Uh-huh.
yeah. So yeah. So are
Can you
gonna-
see how many people? I'm just curious. Can you see how many
No,
people are doing? Okay.
we don't know yet.
Okay.
Others can see back in there.
Gotcha.
So, Maryland, are you a part of the Maryland EAS conference?
I am helping to plan the short course down in Maryland.
Oh, are you
so,
really?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
I'm helping with the beginner track and some other.
Yep.
More the first 2 days, but it takes a big team. I'm sure you've
Yeah.
seen in the field
Yeah.
how many bodies it
Yeah.
takes.
Do you know where it's going to be? I mean, like, what's the location in Maryland?
It's going to be a Turf Valley Resort,
Oh,
which is about half an hour just west of Baltimore.
what do they do at the resort? Massages?
It's actually a golf course too. So if you play golf, you can come in early,
Yeah.
or stay there on the end of the weekend and play a couple rounds of golf.
Cool.
They have two. I'm not a golfer, but they have two 18-round golf courses right on site.
You know the
They
date
have a
yet?
pool,
We'll
and
have the apiary right in the
do you know
middle
the
of
date, Lisa?
You know the date,
Date?
Lisa? Date of Maryland? Oh, end of
It's
July,
the first
of
full.
August.
It's the first full week in August. I can say that.
My anniversary is August the 3rd, so it's sometime around August the 3rd.
Right there, right there. Always is.
Yeah, that's
We
good.
should get remarried and then we can have a different date.
First
There you
week in
go.
August. Yeah, first week in August. So if you're interested in coming to a great conference, we have just the top-notch speakers. Bob Beanie is here. Cameron Jack is here.
David
Dr.
Burns is
Peck,
here.
David Burns,
Tom Seeley,
Judy who? Judy
Woo.
Woo. Yeah. Tom Seeley,
Cameron
Kurt Webster.
There's
I
a
said
little bit of
Cameron Jack.
everything from the very beginner
Oh, yeah.
beekeeper
Yeah.
up to the experts.
Yeah, Wagner with the odor,
UBO.
UBO, and all that. And good word from Cameron Jack. We had fun with him. John and I like to horse around with him. Cameron
Sam
is
Ramsey will be here.
Sam
tomorrow.
Ramsey. Oh yeah, it's a hoot.
Yeah.
Cameron said, you know what? When people ask me to speak, he said, I always say, is David Burns going to be there? That's a determining factor.
No.
Or, that's what he said.
Yeah.
I have it on video. So he's not going to speak very many places. I don't like to speak that many places. All right. Well, Sherry, it's time to go. We're
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock in Illinois. Hey guys, I want to thank you all for coming. I want to thank John and Kathy and Susan and Lisa and Larry for coming on
Yeah, thanks to everybody.
the auction and the dinner,
Wow.
making this live stream a lot of fun out here at EAS.
A
So
lot of fun. It's
Yeah.
all beekeeping is.
I want to kind of close with this. So I go to a lot of conferences. I've been to Hive Life, and I understand what conferences feel like. I tell you what, I'm just madly in love and excited about EAS. It's a crazy great conference to go to. I was speaking 3 times, and each time I said, raise your hand if it's the first time at EAS. Over half of the people in the audience, every single time I spoke, were brand new to EAS. So I know a lot of you are hearing this on my channel a lot. If you get tired of me talking about it, just bear with me. I'll just keep saying EAS all the time because I love the conference so much. So,
Definitely.
all right. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks, Sherry, for holding down the home front and
It's good to meet you, Sherry.
being our.
Yeah, you too, Larry.
You look so beautiful.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
This is what you miss
I don't know how you stay away this
for
long.
your anniversary.
Brutal. When I left, I said I'm an idiot for leaving Sherry. Why would I want to leave Sherry when I'm having such a great time at home? It's like, so you do look so beautiful. Did you dress up for our anniversary? That's what she always said. Thought these are my old duds, you know. If I didn't know I was going to be on this show, I would dress up more. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being here. We're going to sign off. Bye, Sherry.
Good night, all.
Everybody, say goodbye.
Good night, all.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.